Tap on the mic, Willie.
But you can't break hash down like this. You know what I'm saying?
Hash
it down like trees.
Fucking channels.
You know what I'm saying? See how I'm breaking it
See if that was done? Yeah. I think mine's still on, but... My baby don't change.
Bet. He has one on.
Yeah, this one, actually, it might be on now.
It's all right here.
Yo. Episode 6 of Rage Radio. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm D-Rage.
And I'm Wonder. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Yes. So if you haven't heard of us before and you're actually tuning in, thank you for finding us and tuning in with us today. We appreciate the company. If you have heard of us, thank you for coming back to us. We hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll see what you have in tune for us. So.
You'll be able to find us in the description below, our Soundclouds, our Instagram, Snapchat. Eventually we'll be on iTunes too.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait for that.
So be on the lookout. We're here at Indie Spot here in Bay City, Michigan. Give them a shout out and follow their Instagram, their Twitter, all that. It'll be in the description for you guys.
So our mission with this is really just put artists on, right? Give these artists exposure, get them on these live performances that they've never done. That is Rage Radio. So if you really haven't tuned in with us before, check out all the episodes that we have prior to this on our YouTube at Rage Radio. You'll kind of get a feel for kind of what we're trying to do and what the future is holding with us today. So to talk about the future, we actually have a guest with us today to advance this future of the show. He goes by E, the producer. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
How's it going, everybody? Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, man.
Appreciate it. So, my name's E, the producer. I'm a music producer from Saginaw, Michigan. Just recently moved over to the west side of the state. Go Broncos.
Yes. So, what's it like to live at a big college like that and do music like you do?
Man, it's a whole new experience, man. It's you meet a lot of different people. Mm-hmm. People that you wouldn't know from. You wouldn't get to meet these type of people from such a small area, like, the Tri-Cities,
right.
Saginaw, Midland, and all that. There's a whole new vibe out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when I went out to Cali. You meet a lot of people that are doing a lot of different things, and since it's a university, everyone's really for the passion and stuff like that.
Exactly, and they all come from different places of the state, not just from the Tri-Cities or anything like that.
A lot of Chicago influence, too, because I think it's only a 2.5 hour drive.
Right.
So a lot of people
from
Illinois, we get a lot of people from there, and a lot of different mixtures of cultures.
It's diverse, and you as a producer and stuff like that too. That gives you different vibes.
Exactly.
And I'm sure you probably engineer too, don't you?
Mm-hmm. So here and there.
Yeah, so you get different types of flows all the time. I'm sure. So it's probably tight.
It's crazy.
Dude, I remember visiting Western when I was kind of picking what college I wanted to go to at first, like a couple years ago, coming right out of high school. And I remember actually visiting Western and going into their music department, like where all the recording studios are and stuff like that. And I just remember like walking in and seeing kids lined up like kind of outside the studios, like waiting to get into the recording studio, but they're making beats, like sitting crisscross on the ground, like
that's crazy.
in the halls of Western. I'm sure you've probably seen some of that. And like I was like, this is so crazy. Like in my mind, I'm like, this is exactly where I want to go. Like the kid beginning to make beats like a couple of years ago, like seeing like, oh my god, that guy's using FL just like I am, or any program. It's like I was like, it is a vibe out there. I really like Kalamazoo. I mean, what's the vibe out there as far as classes and going to shows and anything out there?
Real easy, laid back. There's a lot of different places that are out there, like the bars and stuff downtown. They got the strip. And a lot of places like to throw like little indie shows, get the local bands and local artists and stuff like that to, come out there and gather a crowd. I just went to this one place put on by Sada, and really cool showcase. They had underground art, like all the underground art stuff, and they had like maybe 5 to 7 different music artists and stuff like that, and they were on stage performing, and it's cool because you see people that were doing like Jamaican vibes, and they were bringing a lot of South Africa into their music, and they're bringing Hispanic people were bringing their vibes and stuff into it, so like that. So it was really cool to see that with the art, people with their clothing brands and stuff like that were all out there. And
I feel like that area does that kind of stuff similar, because like when I went down to Grand Rapids. At the end of the summer, they had like Car Fest. They had people with their rides and stuff showing them off, and then they had some like kind of art fairs. So like I feel like they got a community down there where they're like trying to showcase some artistry, in a sense, But
I know we also have the art institutes downtown too, so that inspires a lot.
That's probably why.
I didn't know that.
Yep, they actually hosted it right inside of there. So
wow.
you walk in and it's a great museum. They got like glass blown and stuff like that, like all these different projects and stuff. And then you go into the little venue on the side, and that's where they had everything. From, live sculptures of actual people to, painting. There's people doing stuff on the spot, too, and selling it. So
that's amazing.
Really cool, yeah.
I feel like the west side of the state, though, is like, they're really making some, good movement towards, like, just, like, evolving and getting better, what I'm saying?
Very diverse.
Getting people involved, what I'm saying? Because when I went down there, like I said earlier, at the end of the summer, what I'm saying, they got... the Hispanic area, what I'm saying? You see, like, like the white people, you see, black people, and they're all just, like, kind of like a little small melting pot, So it's, like, not everyone's, like, all, snubbed or with their nose up, what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I feel.
Well,
Plus the breweries down there is fire.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that is fire. I mean, even, like, our buddy Quinn, the capture from Western, he does fantastic photos and videos. Check him out. He's a really cool dude, too, and he goes to Western. I don't know if you've ever ran into him or not. He's a... guy that shoots pictures and videography and stuff like that at Western, and but anybody I've met and everybody that has helped me get to along my path that I'm taking right now in my career from Western has been super helpful and like super nice people, So I think it's definitely like a good place to go to college. I think it's a good place to live.
That's what I'm saying.
Doing what you're doing.
That's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Basically, in a sense, in a nutshell. But hey, what can we do? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. No.
How was that commute though to get here? The weather was
really?
Man, the weather was really gross.
Ain't it crazy how it's supposed to be spring?
Yeah, I got in the car, it was nice yesterday, 50 degrees, we were doing all good.
Man.
Pulling up tonight.
Dude, I slipped walking in.
That's what I'm saying. I went to go
Like-
get some. When we were going into Joanne Fabrics, man.
Getting this nice tabletop for us today.
It was just icy, man. You know what I'm saying? Windows off, fogged
It's
up,
gross,
cold rain.
dude.
It's just.
It's April 3rd now? April 3rd, and it's gross.
They said April Fools on April 3rd.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, the game too. I mean, we have this fucking weather, and then we have this game. Michigan just got blown out.
Hey,
So
still shout out to Michigan.
no, he's in here.
Go
He's still
blue, go
repping.
blue.
So I mean, I don't know. What'd you guys think? Did you watch the game live?
I watched the whole game.
What'd you think, dude?
I thought we had in the first half, man. We came out strong, first, right at the beginning of the game, I saw we were going inside, putting the points up on the board, and I was like, man, this is going to be the game.
Bro.
And
Dude, they were landing them at the end. I couldn't even watch. After like 7 minutes left, I was like, I don't even want to watch anymore.
They
dude.
were like, before the half, though, the first half or whatever, they were up by like 8 and like with 8 minutes left. And then towards the end of the first half, they were just going down. And then as soon as they came back out, they came out flat. It was just like.
No, I thought they were going to come out with the fire in them coming out from.
Villanova didn't obviously lose the game, but they blew everyone out by 15 points.
They were
game.
they had double digits the whole entire tournament. Like,
Yeah.
they were there to win. They
Every
were playing.
game. And I think I just read somewhere that a team hasn't done that since like I think 2000. I read.
But yeah, I seen that today on Twitter or something like
Yeah,
that. But
that's insane. Like they just blew everyone. No one had a chance. It's I don't know. This is the second year they've won in 3 years. So
Dante was going nuts.
dude. As soon as when he hit that shot and he winked, I was like, oh, we lost. We lost.
Said, oh, we lost.
We lost. I couldn't do it. I can't watch my team leave like that. But
I don't know. Whatever though, I guess
it was a good run. I mean, everyone talked against us. We made it to the championship game. So I mean, I can't really hate on it. It was a good run.
That's what I'm saying.
And
OSU wasn't there at least. That's all that matters.
and MSU, right?
MSU,
I mean, I wish even if MSU was there, I would still root for them.
Oh yeah.
That's the support out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was it was fun to watch, I guess. For the first half at least. Second half, it was like
it was just whatever, I guess.
I don't know, but I mean, we got new music this Friday. This Weekend album came out. What did you guys think? Did you get a chance to listen to the Weekend album?
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised that it was only 6 tracks though.
I thought it was an album.
Yeah, so I don't really know. Is it a project or?
I think it was just a little EP. How did you?
Yeah.
Hey, did y'all get fooled by that little fake track list that they that was circulating?
Dude, I saw it on Twitter, but I saw people tweeting about it. I should.
I thought that for a second. I was like, this would be crazy if he had like XXXTentacion on there.
What was the track list?
It was just like a fake track list. It was like a whole like 12 set album. It had like Travis Scott features, XXXTentacion, Drake.
Whenever I see stuff like that, and
I didn't.
I do like. I notice that people drop a lot of fake stuff, and even if it was real, I like to shut everything out and just listen from beginning to end. Let everything surprise me. You know, that's where.
Yeah, I don't listen to any like leak stuff either, or none of that. Or I don't really try to look to see if there's like a track list either. But that track list did seem like it was about to be fire. But overall, like, you know, the first couple times listening through it, I thought it was good. You know, I
brought it back to the trilogy.
Yeah, I told D Rage though earlier today, like, you know, he gave us that House of Balloon vibe kind of in a sense, but like he just wasn't as, you know, like blunt as he normally was. If he was really talking about some fucking on a chick or like being on some drugs or something, like, you know, he was just kind of like, I don't know.
Do you think he's off that?
I don't. Do
you think he's done with that?
What do you say? And Beauty Behind the Man is don't believe the rumors, bitch. I'm still a user. Like,
I mean, I definitely believe
he's just evolving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being more like, you know, enclosed. I think with this group and being more focused, but still doing what he does.
What do you think of this? I think he's super mainstream right now. Obviously, he's a very mainstream artist. Do you think anybody would allow him to be that? Like
again, or just I don't think it would be allowing. I just think if eventually like he'll just kind of get sick of like giving us this like filtered version of The Weeknd and. Eventually, I see more than him just being like the new star boy. Like I see him being like not even just a megastar, just this artist that's just so different. Eventually, like he's one of my favorite artists. So like
top 5 for me.
I can see him not really caring or giving a fuck about what other people say or what if the perception of like maybe the pop culture. Like he's just gonna be him. So I think it's gonna come with time. I just think he's just getting his feet wet. You know what I'm saying? Cause
for sure, he's young.
You know, spreading his talent. You know what I'm saying? But
I
do believe that it would be great from my view of his career to, you know, hop out of that pop phase. For sure. He came out, he got his hits. You know what I'm saying? He put his name out there.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah, and just let them know that you can do it.
Because to think about that though, like how underappreciated he was before he became mainstream. Now people want to talk about The Weeknd.
Right.
At first they didn't. Now he can go back and do what he wants to do if he wanted to.
Some people didn't want to say they were fans because of, you know, how raw his material was, and now
that's what made me a fan though. Like
it was tough.
Exactly. It was.
That shit was
tough.
Stuff.
You listen to some of his old stuff, and it's like it is really raw. Like I can understand if you like wouldn't be like super attracted to him like a Travis Scott or even like obviously like a Drake. Like there's not a song you can't like nowadays you can't say you're not a Drake fan. He's got so much material. There's so much good material where like it's impossible. There's some artists where you literally like you can't be like I'm not a fan. Like dude, you like one of his songs.
Right.
You know
one of them's been stuck in your head at least at one point.
A melody,
whether it was
influence,
an accident or not. Like
you're a fan of him. So I think Weeknd's kind of like that. Like he's getting to that point. You know, he's got songs where you're like, how can you not like that? You know what I mean? There's like some of his dance stuff that some people aren't really into, like when he worked with Daft Punk and stuff like that. Like some people aren't into that kind of music rather than his like House of Balloon stuff. I like both. I think there's some tracks where he literally sounds like Michael Jackson, bro.
I'm like the Dirty Diana, like I mean that's a little old, but he really did sound like Michael Jackson.
Or even like I Can Feel It, or Feel It Coming on Starboy. I think it's like one of the last tracks on the album with Daft Punk. It was like it was a big hit for him. That to me, like it's that one or it might be a different song, but there's a song by The Weeknd where if you don't know it's him and you just filter out that it's even The Weeknd or anything, that's Michael Jackson, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you did not know if you didn't know The Weeknd existed and you're like a kid that was born in like the early 2000s, you'd be like, that's definitely Michael Jackson.
And you've only heard like Michael Jackson songs.
Yeah, you would definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
At least,
that's all I'm saying. I think he's to a point where like his talent is. I'm not gonna go ahead and just say he's like Michael Jackson or he's the next Michael Jackson or anything like that. I just think his music and his talent is of a Michael Jackson like
caliber at least. I mean
caliber and like heavy influence.
Yeah, I mean he even has music for any mood that you could ever be in. You know that's what I do like about his pop phase. You know, if you want to be in a good mood. You couldn't do that with the trilogy.
No,
you know,
not
there was
really.
a couple songs like maybe The Morning.
No.
The Morning was a great song, but like, you know, it's just like some in the field type music, and you don't even got to be in the field. It's just good music. But you know, you could go listen to, you know, like Starboy and stuff like that, and you'd be like, oh, you know what, I could play this whole album, you know, do a quick hour commute and listen to the whole thing front to back, and you know, be in a good mood instead of, you know, just kind of chilling and. putting on like Thursday or something like that.
I love. See,
like,
I used to
Birds.
listen like every day, every Thursday. I would listen to Thursday.
The Birds.
The Birds.
The Birds, both of them, part 1 and 2. But like I would listen to Thursday every Thursday, like back in the day. Like it would just be like my day to listen to Thursday.
It's kind of like the whole first
That's
of the month
tight.
Bone Thugs type stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that every month.
Yeah. You know what's funny about E is like there was one time I thoroughly remember about it was like we haven't really been friends that long, so but I remember it was like the one moment I was like, oh, I'll fuck with dude.
How
like,
did you guys meet, by the way? Before I interrupt, or before you get further into it.
Was it someone introduced us, or was it?
were
It was
in-
Hunter, wasn't it?
No. We were in math class, bro.
Oh, it was.
Delta.
Oh, y'all linked up in college then.
Yeah.
Delta College, yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yep.
Continue
Yeah.
on though.
Yeah, we had a class kind of like Jordan.
Okay.
Literally like me and Jordan met, Jordan Yackel. No, but there was a moment where like you had put on like your Snap story. You were listening to like Dennis G's song.
Yeah.
What's the song called?
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, you were he was
bro.
listening. Have you heard that song?
don't
Kind of
even-
crazy by Drake's dad.
Drake's dad, bro.
Dennis G.
I don't believe so.
Man, dude,
It's
I
fire.
honestly-
I'm
haven't,
talking
actually.
that man right there has the ability to bring in the new forefront of soul and R&B.
I just heard a new song he
crazy.
came out with like last month or whatever though. That was kind of low key fire though.
Yeah.
On
His
some
dad's
old,
got
on some
flame.
on some old head shit. That shit was kind of hard. Like he has some soul, but I haven't heard that specific song.
Dude,
though.
man, that song is
Man, I can see where Drake has got got the music influence from as far
he's got
as
his
like,
influence. I mean, that's where I like the '70s era of music. There's a lot of passion in the instruments. You feel the music rather than just some dude typed a couple buttons on the.
That's
on this
because
beat
I was
pad,
watching
stuff
an
like that.
interview like yesterday. I was just watching like a Drake interview or something, and he was telling, he was talking about his making So Far Gone, and his dad was telling him like, you don't have to be afraid to like sing and rap. He's like, give people feeling. So I can see what you were saying as far as like feeling instead of pushing a button. So it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of feeling and like melody too. Like I'm a big fan of melodies in songs or like in beats or anything. Like if there's like a really nice melody in a song, like that's what gets stuck in your head. Like if you put words with melody, a good melody, and like okay lyrics, it'll get stuck in your head.
You ever like
hook anything?
Like those beats like you will hear the melody and the beat of the of the hook or the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are like my favorite type of like beats. Like when the hook isn't playing, you can still kind of like hear where the words would come in at. Does that make sense?
A little. You're saying like the structuring?
Yeah, like you can just hear like the melody and the beat, even though there isn't a melody.
Oh yeah, so they sing with the beat.
Yeah, it just sounds
they
so
become
good.
One. Yeah.
I love when artists can do that, because I mean the voice is an instrument, So I mean, to me that shows a good artist.
Dude, talking about instruments and like I just remember because we just mentioned them earlier, but like Travis Scott is one of the craziest people that does instrument like things with his voice, dude. I just actually, speaking of watching a video, I watched a video like a week ago about how to like what they do to synthesize his voice when he records. Like he obviously
I looked into that too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I had like I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but I heard like a raw track of Travis Scott's vocals, like just a raw stem without his auto tune and reverbs and delays that he uses on his voice and like phasing and stuff. It's kind of crazy. Like he can sing, he can hit notes, right? Not hit notes like a Weekend.
He'll let the auto tune correct it basically.
Yeah, but
he can hit it, but he'll let it get corrected.
It's super raw, and then it's almost like obviously he can't sing like The Weeknd, but he can hit notes, right? And I watched a video where they compared it. It was like the stem and then his actual voice in the song. Dude, it sounds like a fucking synth, like when his voice comes into a song compared to like hearing just his raw. So I mean, he works with like Mike Dean, who's like a synth god, like god.
Also, he came up with Kanye too. So like, he definitely got that, especially like at the end of what is it, Runaway. Where he comes in at the end and he sounds like the guitar. Mm-hmm. He really starts going with it. He did that also on T-Lop. Let's see what. Can't remember really what track it was, but he came in and he was like with the flutes and like I can't even think of what instrument. It was like the trumpets. Yeah. He was like synth with the trumpets and and it sounded great.
Yeah.
And like you feel that. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the melody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the part I feel the most. I think that's why I like Travis Scott so much. Travis Scott's like top 3 for me, dude.
I was about to say that's what made me a fan of Travis Scott at least, was not that I didn't like necessarily like the content, which as growing as a fan now, I do like what he talks about in his music. But I like that it sounded so like off the wall. It was like whoa, like not even in a bad way off the wall, but it was just so much different. And then like one time I was watching like how you were saying like how he does it with instrument, like they'll put a lot of distortion along with the auto tune as well, which is weird in a sense, but I think it's cool how that works out.
Innovative.
Yeah, very very innovative with his craft. So
he does a lot of like stereo imaging on his voice. Like crazy stereo imaging. Like you'll hear like a mono, just a regular mono down the middle of his voice,
and then it'll like
they'll like I honestly think he just has Mike Dean just fuck his voice up as much as possible, dude. Like when he records,
it works,
and it works.
It sounds great.
Yeah, I think
him and Tory Lanez are the only ones I think that can do it as that well at least.
Tory Lanez got a cool voice,
but he has a good voice. Period, though. Tory Lanez,
sing.
like he can sing good live, like without any auto tune or anything like that. Like it's crazy.
It's the same with Frank Ocean too.
Dude, Frank's got okay, Travis Scott is like top 3 for me as far as like rappers right now, just like in today's age. Frank Ocean's like #1 singer, like R&B dude. Not one dude, I'm telling you right now, like out right now singer, I think it's Frank Ocean. Dude.
See, I've liked Frank Ocean. I've never really like got into like looking into his music that much. But I mean, anything I hear, it's great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't go out my way. Maybe I should, but like he is definitely a great artist. But I've never went out of my way to like try to find Frank Ocean or be excited for his albums to come out. But that's just me,
Because he doesn't drop them enough for you to be excited.
But I never was like, cause with the Odd Future and all that stuff, or when he was with the like Tyler the Creator, I just never was into that kind of music really.
Yeah,
but not saying it's not good because it really is good. It's just. That's just not my style, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy because I never thought he would be anything like he is now off of Odd Future when they were just all kind of rapping and you know what I mean. Like it's so weird to just see him do stuff like Godspeed on Blonde or like Future Free, and then watch like the old 10-minute freestyles of Odd Future and him rapping really good, and it's like that's the guy that made this like super emotional like. Devoted to his mom kind of track, it's like it's weird to see an artist develop.
My mom likes him a lot actually, which is crazy though.
My mom likes him too.
When I was like when he first like came out into the spotlight of being an artist, like I think he was either doing an MTV show or something like that or a BET like a performance, and she was like, that's like the new best R&B singer out like right now. That's when he did the album Orange. That was like in 2011. That was a while ago.
Oh, you might be talking about Saturday Night Live.
That might have. I think that's what it is.
Because I seen him. That was like the second time of me ever hearing him, and I was like, man, this guy.
But he did some like crazy ass set though.
Yeah, and he had his headband on.
Yeah.
I was like, I've seen this guy before. I was like, wow, he's definitely blowing up. Like he got a spot on SNL.
And then
it made me.
Whenever my mom says someone's about to be good, I'm just like, all right.
Take it away for it. They got.
I'm gonna take it in
good
consideration because she don't really like music like that, or like from our generation. So
you're talking about the performance where he had like the American flag he had a flag bandana on.
Yeah,
You're talking about that one?
Yeah,
dude. Like when he was hitting those super high notes. Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing.
Flat out sing.
He can like raw talent sing.
But
I mean. I like R&B. I mean, are you more of a rap fan, or are you more of like what's your main
R&B rap? That's seeing both of those cross over and form that hybrid is what I'm really about. We can go into trap and stuff like that, but all of them are different animals, same beast type things. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I feel like me and you got the same kind of like style. We both use the same programs. You like hip hop and R&B integration, like that's what I'm here for. Yeah. Like I just want to hear some hard ass slick rap talk, and then some fire ass singing. You
hear the singing, and then you bring in that soul and them real instruments. You get that raw recording, and it makes a sound that, maybe to the common ear they won't notice the difference, but
to a trained ear it's different.
So
I know what you mean.
You put the headphones on, you can tell computerized from raw, and it's just a whole new feeling.
You said you were picking up some instruments though, right? Too, like.
Yeah.
So what have you been trying to learn or have?
I am in the process of trying to learn how to play the guitar.
Okay, yeah, that's
trying really hard.
So that's like I think I said in our last interview with Fido C. Like that's my favorite instrument is the guitar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I love, like heavy metal, not heavy metal, but like, you know, rock bands and stuff like that. But I'm just there purely for the guitar. Like, I just love it, you know.
Right, yeah.
It sounds so. It's just the scream of the strings to me, man. It's just like there's no other better
yeah,
instrument.
it's great, and you know, it puts like a whole new passion into the music because, you know, a lot of that gets covered up with rap today because you know, people are trying to, you know, obviously like not like Little Pump and stuff like that. You know, they're for the stuff that bangs. You know.
Right,
Put that stuff on, you know, while you're partying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're just there, you're playing it because it bangs, not really because of the vocals and the lyrics and how in-depth that stuff goes in. So you hear stuff like Joey Badass, you know, you kind of put the beat to the side and try to hear the substance of what he's trying to say. And then, you know, as you listen to it a couple times, you know, oh, yeah, you know, I do like the beat of this song.
And then not over productive songs either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's obviously nice to have some fire-ass percussion in your beats, but, like, leave a section for the artist to talk or sing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but have a fire-ass, you know, beat, though.
Yeah, and that's what I like about the, you know, rock and stuff like that, because they go along with their instruments. You know, people, I see them, like, hit notes with the guitar, and then the guitar just amplifies it, and then, you know, you feel that stuff. You know
I get exactly what you mean, man, you know. How you feel about that?
Just guitars in general. And,
yeah, just
and
like, you know, not over complicating beats, because, like, I hear your beats, and, like, they're not overly produced, but they're fire, you know?
I mean, I don't know. I make a lot of throwaway beats, I'll say that. I made a throwaway beat today that was I put 5 instruments in it already and it sounded overproduced. It doesn't have to be that many instruments in my opinion.
Just long as they go together well.
Yeah, I mean once you start messing with stuff that like takes up different frequency ranges, you can add a lot more instrumentation into a song. But I think like once you have like a hi-hat and then you have vocals and then you have a high frequency synth, and then maybe, you know, an open hi-hat and all this high-frequency range stuff that's taking up, you know, your right side of your equalizer, your spectrum, I'm sorry, it sounds crowded. You know, the same with...
Very saturated.
Yeah, same goes with, like, 808s and trying to mix an 808 and a bass line together.
That does not work.
I mean,
not well, at least.
No, never well. I would say it's just about your mixing. I guess you know, you can't say it never sounds good. There are some songs where they have nice subs with the bass line into it, but it's not like
you can
optimal.
Tell when someone doesn't know what they're doing with it, though.
Oh yeah, it sounds
definitely
very muddy.
Yeah, you know when it's done right, but as far as like it, you know, being done wrong is really easy to do. So I do steer away from that though, but.
Right.
You know, that's just me. You feel me? I don't know. But
I mean, it's different for everybody. You know, if I personally like a lot of people will say don't turn your 808s up past a certain dB in the mix or anything like that, but or you know, negative 6 dB, whatever you like. I like doing it where like my 808s are just at 0 or maybe a little bit under 0 dB, so they just bang. I don't know. It works for me. The way
that clipping noise, huh?
No, I'm
right there at 0, loud as fuck.
Literally, dude. Like I'll reference beats that I make in my car or different headphones or whatever, like different speakers, and it just seems like my 808 just comes through right where I would personally like to hear it. You know what I mean? So it's like.
At the end of the day, though, that's just really how it is. If it sounds good to you, I mean, you're
really
a little bit biased.
You're the master of your own craft. You know what I'm saying?
Really.
So,
yeah.
It really comes down to, you know, personal preference and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of people who like that distortion, and they think it complements their beat. And you know, I'll hold back my comments because you know that's their craft.
Exactly.
You know, if they want, now, yeah, you can give pointers and tips all day, but you know whether the person takes them, it's up to them. You know.
Yeah, and you know my thing that I've been trying to learn really hard is like everybody, like you said, everybody has different crafts. You know, like if you could both make beats on the same laptop, the same FL, the same drums, same synth, whatever, and if they make something that you don't like, it doesn't really matter because they're doing what they like to hear. You know what I mean? So there's not really a way to just make like bad, quote unquote bad music. Like there's tracks you don't like as much as other tracks, but like none of it's really bad. It's just either they are experimenting or they just simply aren't to that level of being talented enough to make music that most people like, or you know what I mean, it there's never like bad music, you know. If you're making music, you're just trying it out, experimenting, or getting your craft to a better level is, you know, my opinion,
you know, and that's where, you know, where the little tips and stuff come inside, you know, the advice and stuff like that, you know, that all comes along, and as they'll absorb it, and you know they'll start putting little things into play here and there as they're experimenting, and sooner or later they will understand what you're talking about. So
yeah, it's good to have people around you too that know a lot too, like with Wonder showed me stuff about recording, but then I've showed him stuff how to mix, like vocals or something like that with a beat, or how to use compression, whatever, or anything like that. It's so,
and it's like some people like take that as like an offense. Like, I like when he tells me stuff, or I can show him something. It's like, show me, man. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what could I do to be better? And, you know, I definitely appreciate it. I always do. Right. You know what I mean?
Keep an open mind.
It's like a collaborative thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we can, as producers, make each other better, you know, why not take that advice and listen? Especially if, you know, if we're coming at you, like, you know, in a non-criticized way, like, you know, just to make you better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, at a certain point in your music career, I think if you're actually serious and trying to get to that next level and be professional, I think you're gonna run into someone that's gonna tell you some really good shit, and you're just gonna bounce off that. That was like it for me. I had a duo of producers in Detroit that I used to sesh with a lot. That every time I went there, they taught me something new, and I was like, I looked at music a different way. So I think if you're really trying hard enough and you're finding people that either know more than you, or you're finding like a mentor or something like that, if you're finding someone that knows more than you and is trying to help you in a positive light, you're going to learn, and you're going to get to that point of being able to make better music or better beats or something, you know what I mean? And you're going to get out of that category of just making like bad music. People are going to start to see you more as like, oh, he's trying to make better music. You know, they're finding maybe that's a beat that you release, and you know 2-3 more rappers like it instead of your last beat that no one liked.
Right,
or,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
People
so like,
are like trying to get on your shit.
I mean, yeah, it just rounds off at like at you know, networking with people that are trying to do what you're doing and trying to advance just as hard as you are. You know what I mean? I know every time I go with E2, like, I love seeing them work on Logic, because it's like, I don't use it, but there's been times where I've gone to studios and had to use Logic, and I remembered something that E taught me, and it helped me in the studio, or with you, or whoever. You know what I mean? So just keeping around people that want to advance as hard as you do and want to get better. You know,
exactly. Yeah, just stick away from people that are trying to stay the same. Like, just keep at least if the person's better than you, appreciate that they can make you better. But if you guys are all have at the same end goal to get better, like, just keep surrounding yourself with those people that want to be uplifting at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so speaking of advancing, it really, like, I know we had mentioned earlier that you have a clothing line a little bit. Kind of explain how that came about, because that's totally different than music. You know, like the clothing industry doesn't really, I mean, they're correlated within rap, but it doesn't have much to do with like music industry in general. They're very different, you know. So explain why you wanted to do that venture.
For sure. All right. Well, the venture of the clothing line, you know, I like to see stuff beyond the music, you know, the behind the scenes type thing, where we get our passions and stuff from. So the clothing line that I brought out, it is focused on not wasting talent. You know, I do what I can. You know, I draw. You know, did my painting and stuff in high school. Music is a huge passion for me. So I like to touch all the different forms of art. So I figured, well, I'm not wasting my talent. You know, I wanted whatever I'm built to do on this earth, I'm trying to put it to that full potential. So I don't like to go around and see people, you know, they want to stay local, you know what I'm saying? You know, they want to be like, oh yeah, I just want to sit here, you know, put a couple songs out, you know, get a couple views, and that's it. I want to see them put that passion into it, you know, make it skyrocket. Put all your determination and everything, make it blow. You know what I'm saying?
Because we can do it.
Exactly. That potential is inside of everybody. So I made the brand, it's called a Universe. And instead of just UNIVERSE, it's YOU.
Okay.
At the beginning. So
I like that. I can see. I've never seen anything, and I can already like see it.
Right. So like it's just a symbol. You wear this symbol, it means that you are doing what you love. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even have to be big, you know. Maybe I want to, you know, step up to that next level, but you know, it doesn't always come down to the money. It never does.
Right.
And I know when you make music and stuff like that, and you focus on just the money portion, you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get a positive feedback.
That's satisfaction.
So we're definitely gonna make sure we drop a link to your social medias so that the people that are listening or may listen can find out where to find some of your stuff at.
For sure,
and of
yeah.
course, like where we can find your beats and just basically to keep a following on you and keep tabs, because like I'm definitely very interested in like being able to communicate with you more, maybe work with you, because like my first time ever meeting you, what I'm saying, you seem like a very solid dude, and I like what you stand for, what I'm saying, just with the only you verse thing, like not even hearing about that, I already feel like I'm sold on it, like it just the world is yours, like what I'm saying, capitalize on it,
Yep.
That's how I was. The first time I met him, I think within probably a couple weeks of meeting him, we were already talking about like clothing lines, and I had explained when I was in high school, I had tried to start a clothing line with a partner of mine, a friend of mine that I had in high school, and it went well. It went well, and it just kind of fell off, and it went different ways and whatever. Shit happens. But we had already been talking about like getting together and trying to do stuff like that, clothing or music, and then it just kind of formed into all like, oh, I make beats. That's crazy. Like the first time we ever like bonded, like became friends, we both were like, oh shit, we both make beats, bro.
Exactly.
This is crazy.
That was a shocker to me,
dude.
Because I was sitting next to him, and I was like, this dude's he carries himself like he knows what's up. You know what I'm saying? When it's crazy to say, but like that's just how I seen it. So, we were sitting next to each other at the beginning of every class, and I think the only reason I sat next to him is because everybody in the class looked like a bunch of squares. I walked in and everyone was just like, I was like, and I seen him, he was chilling in the back of the chair, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit next to this dude. And
I hate school, by the way. That's why I look in every class.
Nice. So I was like, I'm gonna sit next to him. He might have what's his story kind of thing.
Right.
So I sat next to him, and then I don't even know what it was. I think we were just complaining about the class. I later looked at him, and I was like, yo, this class is pretty whack. And it was a math
probably
class.
like, I want to go home and make beats.
Yeah, and he was just like, yeah, man. He goes, I don't know. I think he brought up the studio or something like that, and I was like, what kind of studio do you work with? And I was like, because I have my own studio. And, I thought he was talking about art, painting, stuff like that. And then he was like, yeah, I'm a producer, I make beats and stuff like that. And I was like,
you said my man's Griffin looked like a sculptor.
You're sculpting.
He still had his chisel in his backpack, bro.
My chisel. Yo, that's crazy that I didn't even know you thought I meant like a painting. I just meant, anytime I say studio, I mean like where we are right now.
Right.
So like
that's how I took it. But then, I was like, there's no way that I just sat next to another producer in this class. Like, there's just like, what are the odds type shit.
God's plan.
So,
Dude,
God's plan,
That's literally why we're here right now. Why he's on our show. Is because we both were like, I make beats too. And it was like, dude, I still remember like being like, what the fuck? I remember going home and telling my mom, I was like, I met another producer in class tonight.
Yeah.
And dude, like, just you don't go to Delta, but you've been in Delta,
I went there for a couple years.
Okay. Like when you go there, it's like when you're in these classes, it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of people that doing what we do. Like you seem like you just like boom immediately like vibe with, like like you do the same thing. You're trying to do the same thing. You know what I mean? It was like, so being like this math class and just like sit next to a kid that's like literally like boom 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 like does what I want to do. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, so exchange numbers. I think, I can't remember. Like I know Hunter came into the story somehow.
Yeah.
Did you introduce me to Hunter?
I did. No, you know what?
Or maybe he hit me up, or I can't remember what it was.
I think it was just kind of, the whole God's plan thing, because I think I had Hunter at my house the same night that you showed up. And I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, me and D are about to be in the studio. And Hunter's like, oh, okay. He goes, you got some co-production going on? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, all right, for sure. Well, I'm about to come through. I want to spit on something. I was like, all right, bet. And then he showed up, and you guys were like,
what the fuck?
What up, bro?
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
Small world.
Yeah, I do remember now. It's funny because how this story's going to relate is to actually another guest that we had on our first episode, Trip. When Trip was still living in Bay City, Trip is obviously the music producer we had in episode 1. If you haven't listened to episode 1 yet, go watch the Trip episode. When he was still living in Bay City, I had went to his house like a regular session at his studio, and Hunter was there, at the studio already when I got there. Like I had never met Hunter before. Like super cool kid though. Like dapped him up when I got there and talked to him. Like immediately was like friends with this kid. Like he just could tell he was the same. Like he said, same kind of person. You know what I mean? You just like talk to these
puts off
people.
that energy, bro.
Yeah, the same kind of energy that you can put off. And like he said, I think he had said like my boy E. You must have mentioned it to me, or something happened where he had already known that you and me were friends.
Right. And you know what? It might have just been because I was working with him pretty heavy at the time. I had just met him through another local artist, and we instantly clicked like that. It was like clockwork. And he came to the studio like the next day type stuff. And we were working, and I was like, yeah, bro. And I was so shook on how like I had met you just in that math class, and I was like, dude, you're not gonna believe this, bro. I was like, I met this dude that's in my math class, and I was like, he's a producer too. And he's like, for real? And he's like, man, that's crazy. What, you're sitting right next to him? And I was like, yeah. I was like, his name's D Rage. And like when I said that, he was like, oh, okay. He goes, I know him. He was like, yeah, the skinny white dude. And I was like, yeah. And then,
dude, I love how I'm the skinny white dude to everybody, bro. Everybody I run into, that skinny white dude? Yeah, that's D-Rage.
That's me.
That's funny, though. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you just, like, when you're in that same circle as everybody that's trying to, like, work and everyone trying to get something done, it's not that big of a circle.
No.
I mean, you look at, like, the big celebs right now. Like, I mean, if you think about, like, the Kardashian circle, but I don't want to use that. It's a weird example. But if you think about, like, really who's, like, huge right now, and you relate it to them, I mean, Tyga was dating Kylie, and Tyga's pretty big. You know what I mean? Kanye, Wiz was involved with that at one point. You know what I mean? Like, it's all these big name artists. Now Travis has just had a kid with Kylie. You know what I mean? And, like, it's crazy. Like, it's kind of like, it's not relating to that because, like, I guess not necessarily everyone in that circle is like working per se or whatever, but like it just shows that like the big artists are all kind of in the same circle. You know what I mean? Right. Like they all kind of they all kind of know each other.
Like it's at like a bigger platform, obviously.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like that's a bigger platform.
Yeah, it's like making like everyone's pretty much like an acquaintance. Like they all know who each other are. And they all know like each other's hustles and stuff like that.
Just like pretty much around here.
Yeah, and they all coexist in the same space, Exactly. Now whether there's beef or not, they're still in the same spot, They're all, they're on that platform.
Everyone knows who's doing what. Just like around here, like people know I'm making music, people know you're making music, so on and so forth. We're just not at that platform yet, at least. You know what I'm saying? But I feel what you're saying, though. Definitely.
It's just weird, It's weird.
Crazy how loosely connected that we all are, because
it's just a small world, and
and it just so happened he worked some of my people, and here we are now.
It's crazy.
It's
how
weird.
That goes.
It's weird to connect with people like that, and you just continue to run into people that you know. But so future goals, are you trying to be mainly a producer? Are you trying to be mainly like clothes, or what's your main goal as far as your career?
The clothing line is definitely, they're gonna coexist with each other. As I progress, I'm gonna progress that with it, and that's gonna be the sound and the image. You're gonna get the visuals on top of the music and stuff, and you can see what drives that brand. So I will be, bringing them up. Same time, it's gonna be a lot to manage, but I got a pretty good team. So
yeah,
we're gonna
shout out to teams, man. Definitely, you gotta have a strong team. Shout out to our team too here at Rage Radio.
Everybody,
much love,
dude. I honestly, I mean, just to talk about teams real quick. Do you guys think you can really make it doing anything without a good team?
You have to have a team.
You have to have somebody, and that somebody's gonna know somebody. You know what I'm saying? You can't do everything yourself. You will meet people along the way, and everyone can say that they made it by themselves, but really it's the people they had around them, because the people around you are gonna influence you, and they're gonna drive you. Yeah, they know when you're messing up, and they can put you back on your tracks.
And that's what they're supposed to be there for anyway.
Exactly.
A real team, real friend, a real support system. They're gonna keep you on track, right. Especially if they see something in you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So.
I think it's important that it needs to be genuine too. Like if you you can have 10 good workers around you working a radio station or working whatever. But like if every single one of them isn't literally like this, we think this mission is like the shit. Like we think this company is the shit. Like we really want to move this to that next level. Like everybody's got to be like this is our
Or
shit.
it's not gonna go nowhere.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
not
what I'm
gonna go
saying?
anywhere. You know, it's gonna stay the same way because they're gonna want to come and work the same job every day.
And you have to find a way to get people excited too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
Like, you know, say some days I'm not bringing the energy, but I know, like, all right, I'm here now. He's got the energy, or Wendy has energy, or Logan or Nich has energy. Like, we're, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all, it seems like as of now, we're like all feeding off each other. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's just how I feel. So, you know, everyone has to be on the same page and excited, or you're not going to go anywhere, like I said.
Yeah. I mean, I was bringing that up really just to dead the thing of, like, there's a lot of people saying, like, I'm self-made. People write songs about it. People get tattoos self-made on their, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there is, I will say, definitely self-made and self-sufficient people. There have people that don't have that support system. But, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, they might have found a girl that was their backbone, or, you know what I'm saying, or a friend eventually. I mean,
even if it even came down to your parents, you know
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some of them might not have parents, but I mean, like, they found that backbone somewhere along that line.
Exactly. They got somebody who told them they can do it.
You know, exactly. Or gave them a chance at least.
Right.
You know, but
And it only takes one person to, change your mind.
exactly.
I just don't think self-made is, like, possible. You know what I mean? Like, I've always said, like, I don't think being self-made, like, 100% is, like, a thing. You know what I mean? I really don't. I think everyone's at least got a team, or at least had someone in their life where they're like, "No, dude, you're pretty dope. Like,
Exactly.
you can keep doing what you're doing." So, I think you should definitely keep going with this clothing line. I think from the start, I've been a fan. I think ever since you explained to me, like, what that the universe thing means, and, like, literally being in that class together when you started explaining it to me, I knew you were the type of person that I liked being around. You know, as far as work ethic and just being creative, and the same with Willie. I feel the same way about being around you as I do with Willie, our whole team. You know what I mean? I think it's dope vibes, dude. I think what you're doing is great. I think all the music you make is good. I think you give off a good energy when you're in the studio with people. I think what you're doing in school is fantastic. Western's a great school. I don't know if you...
I've never been to Western, but I mean, I've known friends that went there, and I know Quinn goes there. So I mean, like, it seems like there's good people that come out of that environment, you know what I'm saying? Good products of that environment. Yeah. So I could probably just from you guys explaining it, like, it seems like it's a good area, good place to visit.
Right.
Yeah. Kalamazoo's a great area. I think you're gonna do some cool things at that school. Now that you're telling me about these programs that you're wanting to get into and work in the studios and just doing what you're doing out there, everything that is important, including Fortnite.
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 On every level.
Dude, everyone plays it. But no, dude, I think you definitely need to come back for another episode once, we see that we need to get these. First of all, we need to get people into this clothing line that you're into. So besides the description that we're going to leave, what would you really like people to know about this clothing line that's going to come out that you're working on?
Okay, main thing is, let's see.
Well, do you have? You said your site's under construction though, right? So,
yeah.
Okay, so basically just give us a place where we can find you on Twitter, and maybe you can go ahead and as you drop other stuff, you can go ahead and just kind of like let people know where to follow you at, basically.
Sure. Instagram is the big platform, and that is where you're gonna see behind the scenes of me and my colleagues and my clients and artists and all of that. You'll see a lot of that inside of the Instagram, a lot of like the photo shoots and stuff like that, behind the scenes of the photo shoot. That's where you're gonna.
Now, are you doing like tees, hats, that kind of stuff, or what is it?
It'll be mainly streetwear, so
streetwear.
Like crew necks, sweatshirts.
Okay, yeah, I like crew necks.
Like that,
if you can't tell, so
exactly.
I'll be on the lookout for that. So
for sure.
Now you say it's dropped or it's about to drop?
It's in the works.
It's in the works right now. Okay, so. We'll make sure we stay following you. Maybe get us some gear to send over to Rage Radio.
Oh yeah, all the
definitely can wear it. You know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff, basically. Awesome. So we'll definitely keep that in mind here. So
Yeah, we can get a sponsorship going. We can get all the free gear to all the fans. Probably get a giveaway. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying.
When it gets to that point,
when we get to some more subs, most definitely.
Exactly. Get that interaction on the social media. So, well. I think this episode has been really good. I think we're a little shorter today, but that's okay. I think a little more concise is good today.
Yeah, we're gonna try to shorten them up a little bit.
Yeah, I think just getting the info that we did today, I mean, it leaves I think people are gonna definitely be interested in that clothing line just from what we have explained today, and then all your beats and stuff like that we'll leave for the people in the description. Yeah. But all the rappers need to get with you. He's got hot fire beats, dude. I don't know. You two need to work together with
Yeah,
with
bro,
the Logic.
Looking forward to that.
I got my shit with me right now. So.
Yeah, we can pull up some beats right now. No, man,
know.
but no, I wanted to really thank everyone for tuning in today. I mean, like I said, if you haven't been with us before, I hope you enjoyed this interview. This is really kind of what we're going to be doing. We are planning to do more videos about, not just interviews that we want to get into reviews and anything that you guys would really like to see. Any of the comments would help.
So yeah, like, share, comment, please.
Yeah. All that, dude. Just literally leave us comments just saying, hey, this was cool, do this. Or this was cool, or you should try this kind of camera angle, or anything. Like, just tell us what you guys like and what you don't like and what you want to see, who you want to see on here, any of the artists from this area that you would love to see. I know we got a big laundry list of people that would like to be on here and that we would like to see on here as well.
And if you want to see yourself on here, honestly, come on, let us know. Like,
just come on, dude. Like,
let us know.
I don't know. I'm waiting for, like, the next big artist to come out of here. You know what I mean? Like, we want to meet him. That's our goal, is to just meet the next big dude and have him do a freestyle or anything on here, But like Wonder said, if you're interested in coming on the show, we're on all the social media at Rage Radio. Just get at us, get at the email. But yeah, so this has been episode 6 of Rage Radio. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Thank you.